Hi again, the horrible heroin addict bully. Yeah, this was when I lived at a place called Trenchard from about 2010 to 2013, and I was like a proper alcoholic, like alcohol dependent for about 5 years at this time, like back then, and drinking like at least 4 cans of like Thatchers or like Old English or whatever I could get my hands on, like up to like 10, 12 drinks like on like Friday, Saturday. Like I used to hang around with an old mate like on my computer, like mixing on virtual DJ and that, just like being at like a recluse, basically staying at home all the time, just drinking myself into oblivion. like, but yeah, and it was like a halfway house with people that come out of prison, and but also had people with special needs, like learning difficulties in there as well. So it was just like a recipe for disaster sort of place, really. And yeah, the first kind of like few months was alright. I was with like my mate from my town, like who I just hang out with and like have a mix with and stuff. But after a few months of living there, like this quite big bloke from Bath moved in. Like, I bumped into him in the hallway. He was in like the other room down the end of the corridor, and then he was like all friendly at first, like yeah, do you fancy meeting up later and all that, like have a mix or something, have a couple of drinks. I was like, yeah, alright. And then it's probably the biggest mistake I've ever made, actually. But like ever since I met him, he was just like every day knocking on my door like a pest, like a leech. You know what I mean? Like, couldn't get away from him. Like all day, every day, he was on my case. Like coming up in the morning, like 9, 10 in the morning, like banging on my door. Oi, Batos, get up! Like, come on, let's have a mix in it, or let's come on, I got some drink. Like trying to take control, like monopolise all my time, take control of my life. And to be fair, like he was an epileptic, so he was on like a higher rate of benefit than me. Like he was on like disability living allowance, so he was getting quite a bit of money. I was just on job seekers, because to be fair, I was just alcohol dependent and basically just too lazy and like too much of an anxious mess to get a job. Like there wasn't really nothing wrong with me really, apart from my self-inflicted drinking, you know. But yeah, to be fair to him, he used to like treat us sometimes to like Dominoes and Chinese and stuff like that. But he was such a control freak. Like he wanted me all to himself. Like I said, he was monopolising my time all the time. He wanted to be with me basically from like the moment I woke up to the moment I go to bed. You know what I mean? And he used to like come in, like we'd have a few drinks, like and like he'd be smoking weed. I didn't really smoke much of it then, but and then he'd like we're having a mix, and then after a mix we'd watch a film, and he'd like just sit in the chair, and then after one thing he was like sort of like gouging out, falling asleep, like going unconscious. And then I clocked on, like he's definitely on the heroin, because he had like big fat swollen hands, like he was all bloated, you know what I mean? Like he was just such a abrasive kind of antagonistic, like paranoid man, you know. And then like any time I was like, oh yeah, like I'm going to meet a friend or anything, he'd be like, oh, off their fucking pussies, I'll knock them out, like fucking I'll bust them up and all that, like think, because he's from Bath, coming down to a smaller town. He thought he was like the biggest man, like he thought he was just like God, like in terms of like, yeah, no one's as tough as him. But yeah, I used to get like weed off someone for him, and then he like threatened him. Like I was on the phone to him, and then he was so paranoid, thinking I was slagging him off, and then he gave me a slap kind of thing. I was like, what the fuck? Like I was scared of him, to be honest. And I give him like an amplifier for because he used to go on virtual DJ on his computer. I set it all up for him, and if it went wrong, it was always my fault. Like, oh yeah, you got a bug on my computer, or like you got like, and then it'd like be like, you need to sort it out now. You know what I mean? Like and I was like kind of like nervous and shaking, but it'd be like a Jekyll and Hyde, you know, like we'd have a drink together and we'd be having a laugh watching these like action films, all sound, and then he'd just flip, like he was just a nasty piece of work. But yeah, starting on all my friends, of like I went off for a couple of days with friends and come back, he'd like give me, like threaten me and be horrible to me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna smash them up, pussies, and like all this shit, and God, yeah, what a horrible man he was, and I couldn't get away from him. Like, he was just like a virus, you know what I mean? Like a horrible man. And I ended up moving out of town to live with my parents, who live about 15 miles away, just to get away from him. And finally he went back to prison, and then to be honest, I was a bit naughty because I was getting carer's allowance, and then he come out of prison. I was still getting carer's allowance for a bit, and then I had to sell my debts to pay him off. But when I finally got rid of him, he was just like, God, he was a proper bully boy. Like, he was a horrible man. Like I don't hate anyone, but yeah, he's probably the single most evil man I've ever met in my whole fucking life. Like, yeah, I think that's about it. Like, thanks for listening. Can't really think of anything more. There are more things he did, but yeah, he was just like a horrible bully man. Like, keeping me under his control, and he was just like coming and gouging out. Like, he had a secret heroin addiction as well. Like, everyone knew he was a heroin addict, but he was like, oh no, I don't take that. He just like anyone. He just started on everyone. He was just so like abrasive and like hostile towards everyone. He was just like so grandiose. I think he was a psychopath, but I'm not sure. Like, he was definitely a narcissist, but whether he was a psychopathic narcissist is another. I think he was, because he was just like what you see is what you get. Like, abrasive, horrible, antagonistic, like love, like drama, and like starting on everyone, and he was just fucking. Anyway, thanks for listening.